We're speaking with Paul Lane. Welcome back to the show. MHA from Mount Pearl South. How are you tonight?
I'm great, Jonathan. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. I had a very educational first half of the show about apprenticeship and skilled trades, and I'm very much looking forward to continuing the conversation tomorrow night with the Minister of Advanced Education and Skills. This is a big issue for our province, as you know, and it's one that we need to solve so we can get everything completed, quote unquote, on time and on budget. Hey?
Yeah, absolutely. I've certainly heard that phrase before. But all kidding aside, that it is important, that skilled trades are so important to our province, and we've had a number of, obstacles around apprenticeship programs and so on that do need to be solved, and hopefully we can resolve them. It'll be certainly, very advantageous to our province and to our people if we do just that. Jonathan, I wanted to continue on with my conversation, that we had last night as relates to certainly my role as critic for Department of Service NL. Mm-hmm. Before I do, though, I just want to, I think I'd be remiss if I didn't just make mention and congratulate Tom Marshall on a great career. Certainly Tom served the people well, the people of his district, and I think the people of the province in general. And, whether you agreed with him on each and every issue or you didn't, or regardless of your political stripe, I think it's fair to say that everybody in Newfoundland and Labrador certainly had a great respect for Tom Marshall and, the way that he carried himself, his very calm, pleasant demeanor, and certainly the fact that, he showed a lot of respect and empathy for people. And I think that's what people will remember him most for. And
he's a mensch.
So I certainly want to acknowledge his contribution to the province, to the House of Assembly tonight.
The word in Yiddish is mensch, and he certainly embodies it, and the House will be, just a little bit smaller without him. Paul, thank you for that, and I'm sure that if he is listening, and by golly, he should, now that he's retired, be listening into our show. I'm sure he's smiling with fond memories of the times that you guys, I'm sure, shared a few jokes around the table. Now, we have about 5 or 6 people who are dying to get on in the next 30 minutes, so let's quickly cover this issue. And by the way, I do have Minister Cornect coming on to respond to this particular issue as well. So let's lay it out for him and see if you can get your questions answered.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm very glad to hear that because certainly we haven't heard a sound up until now. So if he's going to come on, that's great. Jonathan, my concern, I have many concerns as it relates to the Department of Service NL. I'm not going to get into all of them tonight, but I'll just get into the first one that comes to mind, the immediate one that I guess has taken place, over the last few days, and that came to rise as a result of, the issues around Minister Manning and the 19 outstanding cases. And, my concern with this from day one, quite frankly, wasn't about all the hype around Minister Manning that was put out there. It was around the 19 injured workers that had been waiting an inordinate amount of time to have their cases heard by the review division. And of course, the review division is put in place, it's an appeal mechanism. So if, somebody is, gets a decision that they're, from workers' comp on an important issue to them, then they have the right, first of all, to an internal appeal, and then barring that, they have this external appeal, which is what the review division deals with. And there's many people who have their lives on hold as a result of it. There's people, that are want to get on with their life, injured workers, and to have those people waiting in a queue, some of them for, we've heard, months or if not years to get their appeals heard, that's a very big concern for injured workers, and it's certainly a concern for me. I think it should be a concern for us all. And, so when we heard this issue about the 19, one has to ask himself, well, that's one commissioner. There's more than one commissioner, of course.
Yeah, there's 7. There's supposed to be 7, but there are only 6 at the moment.
Exactly. So then the question becomes one of, well, besides those 19, how many other workers are out there, injured workers are out there that are waiting to have their cases heard?
That's a good decision. That's a good question. Paul, have you looked at how many decisions were actually rendered by the 5 other part-time commissioners as well as the full-time, the chief review commissioner in this year of 2014?
Yeah, I've actually got our research staff is actually researching that now.
It's about 100. And you just click on the web and they're all there. Each decision is there. They're quite extensive and impressive. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And we're trying to get a lot of information around that our staff is around those issues and comparing it year over year to see if we have a trend and so on as well. And so, you know, that is a concern. And I guess the bottom line is that up until this point, we haven't heard from the minister on it. So, you know, I'd be curious to know now from the minister exactly what immediate plans does he have in place to deal with the immediate backlog.
Okay,
and then what plans does he have to look at the systemic issues which have led to these backlogs to begin with. This is not a new problem. This is a problem which has been ongoing for quite some time. It came up in the House of Assembly the last time around, I believe the time before that as well. So it's not like this is some new issue that you know, has occurred that government never had time to react to. It's been an ongoing one. So again, what is the immediate plan to deal with the backlog, and what are your plans to deal with the overall systemic issues, and let the people know what they are, and more importantly, let the injured workers know what they are.
Paul Lane, those are very good questions. I suspect that the systemic issues are the fact that the review commissioners are part-time, and that the charge per case review is quite small. As you will, or your researchers will tell you, I'll tell you this for free. Every review commissioner, besides Ms. Manning, is retired, a civil servant. They're of extensive 25 to 30 years experience within the civil service, or they are lawyers. And therefore, I don't know why it is part-time, but it's almost like this is a job that they have on the side, or after they've given their service to us, the public, for 30 years, this is something that they're doing afterwards. And maybe that is one of the systemic issues. I don't know. I'm going to put the question directly to the minister after I do say goodnight to you. Is there any other question that you have for him, because he's waiting to speak with me right now?
Yeah, well, I'd also like to know, you know, if you're going to have them there, there's a number of them, but I'd like to know if he plans on meeting with the families of the Marystown Shipyard Family Alliance. They have been trying to seek justice now for quite some time for their family members, workers who were exposed to contaminants at the Marystown Shipyard over time, over 30, 40 years and so on. And now we have just an inordinate number of industrial diseases which have surfaced, cancers and so on. And the Alliance has certainly requested through the workers' comp, and certainly requested through the minister's office. They want to meet with him, and they want to discuss, putting some kind of a strategy in place, bringing in outside experts to be able to look at the correlation between these industrial exposures and the diseases that these workers are suffering, and they haven't really been able to get too far with it. I put in a request to the minister. I've written him twice, requesting a meeting with him to discuss that, as well as issues with silica dust in Labrador, the IOC, and so on, and he hasn't responded to either of my requests. So I'd be interested to know if he plans on meeting with this group and plans on making sure that these people are treated fairly. Okay,
I'll see if I can fit that in. If not this time, then next time. Paul, email me that issue. I'd like to read up on the issue surrounding Marystown Shipyard, if you could, sir, in your spare time. Thanks for joining us tonight, and we'll speak again.
Yeah, absolutely, Jonathan. Okay. Always a pleasure.
Take care. Bye-bye.